50 to 80 pound rod, because I don't need a cast. All I gotta do is pitch it out there. And these guys that are, you're hanging on to that hunk of equipment, it's making them want to launch it out there when the fish are down there 125 feet. And then when they do hook one, they really get it handed to them, and then it goes to the front of the boat, and then their spectra cuts the anchor off. Then we really got a problem. We're on the Independence. He's got 2 more anchors, but we're getting nervous now. Okay, guys, let's get it collected. Here go the 8-foot rods again. Guy goes to the bow, rubs across the anchor line. Jeff's like, he starts freaking out. He's like, I think we better just get that anchor up before it breaks. Sure enough, he was right. The spectra, we almost lost the second anchor. These wahoos, you can control them with a short, heavy rod, and you don't have to take 30 winds to try and set the hook. You got that heavy rod, you wind a couple times and just lay in them like this, and it's over, it's on. And it's just a broom pole of a fishing rod. That's how you lay that hook into those things. So, and that's just some old guys taught me that.
You fishing a spectra with mono top shot then for the wahoo setup?
For the wahoo, yeah. Because I want to use a small reel. I got no problem with using all mono, but I want to use a small reel. Use all mono, I gotta use a little bigger reel. My daytime reels, I don't care if you're on a 2-day or a 3-day, your bigger equipment, sun's coming up, maybe in the dark, sun's going down, but boy, that daytime stuff, you really need to accommodate yourself to something that's easy to hang on to all day. You don't want to be finally going to the galley and taking a break, and then all of a sudden the bite goes off, because you're worn out from hanging on to this lug of the equipment every time the boat stops. So maybe out with some of the old and in with 1 or 2 of the new, and I got 500 yards of 30-pound spectra and 25-pound top shot, and I put 6 20-plus pound yellows on the deck, no problem. And the only reason I wasn't losing them is because, well, 1, I was on a private boat, but 2, the minute we started hooking fish, I just drove the boat out to sea into 180 foot of water and drug the fish out there. And we wound them right up. The only fish we lost was casualties in the line. That new guy with us, he's from Hawaii, teaching him this and that, and that's the only reason we had a couple casualties. And it's just a matter of pointing the boat out to sea and get a little gas in. It's okay, guys, the line's coming out pretty real. And once we got into 150 feet, we wound the fish right up. No seals, nothing. So, just little tricks of the trade. But you couldn't. And the other thing too is I've been talking to more guys about this. It's a must. Find a friend or go buy a spring scale. Okay? Because I cringed when you told me about light drags and all this stuff. Okay? If I had a scale, I'd blow one of you away about how hard you could pull. But you need a spring scale. Okay, so 25 pound is the lightest I have on here. So I know I can at least put 30% of 25 pound on this line, and I'm not going to come close to breaking it. Okay? But you will blow yourself away when you get your hands on a spring scale. Hopefully you got a friend that can watch. Run your mandatory. Wind your line from the reel through the guides down to the spring scale as if you're pulling on a fish. Not straight up and down, at an angle, normal. Pull on it, use it to 3 pounds. Okay, let's crank it up a bit. 7, supposed to be 8.5, whatever. Okay. Oh God, 8.5. You're like, whoa. Feels like it's 30 pounds of drag. And it's before you go on a trip, every trip. If I had my way, every angler does that to get familiar with how hard you can pull on line without breaking it. Okay? How hard have you pulled to get your torpedo sinker back on a 3/4 day boat or a half day boat?
Pretty hard.
If you pulled that hard, would you have maybe caught the yellow?
No.
You don't think you would have caught the yellow if you put that kind of pressure on him without brought him up?
There was definitely some. I was fishing 15 and it was this hooky line.
He was just having your way with you. I take it.
No, dude, I barely come tight on the fish and it breaks.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
he takes off 10 yards of drag and it breaks.
Right. I've had those days and just what is happening.
15
Same
pounds.
thing.
It was.
Pink is dirty?
No, it wasn't. It was Seaguar. I have it right here. I was testing it on his.
Oh, your leader was breaking.
I was fishing a 20-foot top shot, yeah.
Wow.
And it was testing to 16 pounds, and I know my drag was that way.
So to be careful with how dusty the fluorocarbon is in the store you buy. Yeah. So back to the spring scale. Let's get our arms familiar with what 30% is. because I did that with the guys at Catalina, and it was like, even with the few that we caught on the anchor, they brought them up. You know what I mean? And it was because they were cool with how hard they could pull. So it's a really great thing to do to get yourself familiar with, 25, 30, 40, 50, tie it to the scale, do your 30% and tell it on a few times. Yeah, let me turn sorry, I got my beepers going off here. Okay. It's just warning me the batteries are out, I'm not gonna fall over or anything. Likes to do this right in the perfect time.
Of course.
I saw him go up.
The drag setting will change as a function of the moisture in the air.
Yes, sir.
So you really take that spring scale with you.
Taking the spring scale on the boat is a great thing. Now, I don't, and the reason I don't is because I pretty much know what pound test what 30% feels like, and that takes a lot of fishing. Okay, but you're gonna get real familiar with it real quick when you do 30 pound or 40 pound, or I don't care if it's 4 pound, and string your trout rod up and let's see how hard I can pull. Let's put 30% on the 4 pound and see if I can get a pound and a quarter out of it. You're not gonna break it with my trout rod. You're gonna feel like your rod's gonna break, not the line, So, I think that's a yes, and I'm absolutely all for that. Tucking into every angler and doing that is a little bit tough. If I can just get you to get familiar with that, maybe talk you into taking that spring scale and put it in your tackle box and taking it on the boat. And if your rod's sit out overnight, the drag do change. You may wake up and you're doing this, and whoa, there's a boil rod in the corner, and you grab your rod and your drag is tightened up for whatever reason. You set the hook, pow, rod comes back at you, and you're just like, what happened? You gotta, make sure you get that bait out of it, get that drag, make sure she's nice and smooth and ready to go. Yeah.
More on that drag issue. When you're on an extended bite on a big fish, I'm talking yellowfin, 100, 200, whatever, where it can be an hour or 2 hours long. If you don't feel like you're making any headway with them, do you increase your, let's just say your drag was set perfectly, maybe it was at 30 pounds, okay? But if you're not making any headway, and you've been, the longer, of course, you know that the longer you're soaking it,
Yeah.
the more chance of going wrong. Are you just saying like, well, I gotta pump this thing up on drag, and, because I'm not getting anything on it in the longer it's in the
Well,
water?
I think that comes down to, if you want to be the only guy that hangs onto the rod and line that fish it. And let me tell you why. Is because at that point, it's not so much that you're just not getting anything around, you're pretty much out of gas. You are. And the fish may be out of gas, but he just got a little more than you got, and he's got a couple $100 down there. You too, you only got X amount of weight to bring him up. Okay, so, you pretty much gotta get it in your mind on a trip like that. It's like, am I after winning the jackpot? Is it that important? Is it that important that I get my PB, my personal best bluefin, that I did it all myself? I've gotten to a point where I hang a 100-pounder or a 200-pounder. I'll fight it, even if it's only 10 minutes to pull it hard until I whip. It's getting handed to the next guy, especially on a private boat. So it's a decision for you to make to be able to pace yourself on a fish like that, because everybody just does so much of this in the beginning. That's why you're out of gas. Pace yourself. You got to make that decision. Do I want to be the only guy that wanted it in and really go after the jackpot, and this is going to be my best? I don't need help, or try and whip it in 30 minutes, and if you can't hang, give it to the deckhand and pull on for a while, and take a deep breath and have something to drink and get back on and pull again. Yeah, and then you won't have to put that drag forward, because you're just putting fresh muscle on it. Does it make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, but if
Did
you
I
are
answer
on
your
it by
question?
yourself, well, it just depends. I mean, there's times where you've got to be the only guy on it, and so.
No, I have to agree, and there'll be times when the whole boat is bent.
Mhm.
But rarely is there not times where a guy not, put some cranks on the rod and just,
I mean, you get to a point, if you've been on a fish for 2 hours before, and your hand's going in and everything's going out,
Right.
you eventually get to the point where you're thinking, I don't care if I get this fish, either he's gonna die or I'm gonna die. I'm putting that drag up to 40 pounds,
There's nothing wrong with
somebody's
that.
gonna move.
There's nothing wrong
Of
with
course,
that.
there's a chance that you can pull a hook at that situation, but,
We just had it happen to me on the vagabond.
yeah. And
I'm
I've
on
had
a
it happen.
50-pound blue wiser, the toughest darn near toughest line there is, and I mean, I couldn't move the thing an hour and 40 minutes. I'm begging the deckhand to take it. I go, I don't care about jack parting and the fish right there, wind it up. Oh no, you got it, Bobby. 10 more minutes. He chews
So
me
it's the
off.
toughest point,
He
yeah.
chews me off, and I begged him to take the fishing rod. I'm like,
Mhm.
please, and
So I try to kept it at the same, and then kept them out too long, and said, I should have tightened the drag, and then I tightened the drag, and then popped them off, and said, I should have left it this way.
You get familiar with your 30%, shoving it up another 5 pounds is not gonna make a difference. You go to Sunset and send it to lockup, no, but you know, an extra 5 pounds or so, no problem,
Yeah.
right?
Remember when I caught that big fat ray from the shore, and
Yeah.
there's Newport was doing their swim at night with all the little neon
Oh,
lights, and
gosh.
there's 20 lifeguards out there swimming in the water. I'm on a 12-foot rod just screaming for help, and I had been in this fish for like 30 minutes, and I was screaming for help, my back was burning, arms were burning. Oh, we had like 6 guys working rotation, 5-10 minutes at a time, 107-pound bat ray the size of the hood of my car. And we couldn't even get in, it took 2 guys on each nostril just to drag them in the
Scared all
water.
the
That
fish.
shared fish was one of my favorite posts on Instagram, and that all those lifeguards, when I see them all day, they all talk about it to this day. So, you know, there's a great, it's wonderful catching a big fish, but I mean, if you just blast your spinal cord, I couldn't walk for 2 days with what I had done on this. So, at some point, asking for help or letting other people chime in, it's a lifetime for those guys. They may never catch another 10-pound fish their whole life, let alone a screaming bat ray that's trying to fly out of the water and go bonkers.
They know that these crews, rarely this type of season are you gonna stumble into, what I would call, I guess, a green crew. Or what do they call them on Deadliest Catch? The big ones?
Googans.
Greenhorns, yeah, googans, the green orange. You know, these deckhands, I don't care if you're going on an overnighter on the prowler or if you're going on a long range trip, they want out. They're out there every day. You know, there's nothing wrong with walking right up to them and give them your hook box and which rod, a couple rods that you want to start with, and say, what do you think? And start the conversation, because a lot of these guys don't, super talented, but the verbal skills just really aren't there, or that they're real comfortable to approach you. Even though the captain's up there, hey, the deckhands' names are deck technicians, they call them now. These are their names. And, oh yeah, you graduated deck technician, that's big. Oh yeah, that's like just before you get your captain's license. So, I lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, about asking the crew for advice, yeah, because I mean, they're the ones, and you know, they keep some of this stuff secret. If there's a certain hook or a certain fluorocarbon or something that's working, you know, they send you up to the store to buy it, buy it. You know, that type of thing. And if you're not super comfortable with your Spectre connection, it isn't the time to learn the knot the night you're going out. You grab your fluorocarbon, grab your Spectre, and hand it to a crew member, and he's gonna go, and you're good. And he'll do it 15 times for you. And when you get home, you can sit on your couch and watch YouTube or give me a call or
You need your
something.
tuna.
What's that?
You need your tuna.
Yeah. So, you know,